Hello again, my dudes. So this is Lies of P First Boss video guide. Just a little help for those that might be finding the game too difficult. I will be making a guide for every single major boss in the game, and this will be the first of such videos. Starting with the Scrapped Watchman. So first piece of advice is try to exploit his weakness. His weakness will be electricity. So if you can find a weapon with electricity, just like the one I'm using, you'll be having a much easier time. As for phase 1, watch out for this special arm attack. It can be quite devastating considering the reach that it has. Try to stay close and dodge most of his attacks. And just be careful with this one that I've just spoke of, which is that one. It has quite the reach, and it's got a funny delay to it. And it's not always the same delay. As you saw, between the first and the second attack, the delay in actually getting the hit out can mess you up, because it's not always the same amount of delay. Now, as I said, try to stay close and play safe. Block if you have to block. Try to dodge would be my #1 advice, because his attacks are quite predictable and they are quite easy to dodge. Just be careful with these, for example. I tried to perfect guard, it didn't go so well. It is quite easy to perfect guard. If you are struggling and you are dying a lot, I would recommend taking the time to learn the telemetry of his unblockable attack and try to perfect guard that one. It will help you a lot in the fight, because it will get him staggered and it will give you an opportunity to get him open to a fatal strike, just like I did by doing the charged R2 attacks. Keep in mind that at this point you are very early in the game. Like me, I'm level 23 at the moment. The weapon won't be doing massive amounts of damage, but this will be the best weapon of choice, in my opinion, for this boss fight. Not only because it does the electricity, to which he's weak to. You see, I managed to perfect guard that one. But also because it's fast. It's a fast attack weapon that scales with motivity. Now, for the purpose of my video guide, I'm doing a motivity build, because it's probably the easiest to come up with for inexperienced players. And that's the idea of this guide, is to help those who are inexperienced. If you are experienced in Dark Souls games and that genre, you probably don't even need the guide in the first place. I managed to perfect guard this attack again, as you just saw. Keep in mind that the electricity that he leaves on the floor will damage you. Again, there's another delay on that one, so be mindful of that. Try to manage your pulse cells intelligently. You don't want to overuse them. If you haven't lost too much energy, don't use them straight away. If you do have to block, like I just did, try to get those hits landing so you can at least recover some health. As you saw, I actually managed to mistime my dodge there, and again straight after, so I actually needed to use my pulse cell. Be mindful of this attack. I would recommend just trying to stay awake, and remember that if you do get electric shock, just like I did, if you get electric shock debuff, your stamina regen will be affected. So try to manage this a bit more wisely if you get that debuff. As you can see, I'm focusing on dodging most of his hits and trying to land R1s in between. I am not trying to go for the charged R2s as much, because of the explosions that stay on the floor. Again, when he does this attack, keep your distance. You don't want to get hit by the aftershock of the Fury attack itself. Again, try to close the distance. I did manage to dodge the first hit, but as you saw, I got hit by his Fury attack, which is unblockable. I tried to perfect guard, but I failed. Again, don't expect to always manage to get every single Fury attack perfect guarded. Try, I would say it's worth trying, especially to get used to the mechanic itself if you are inexperienced again. As you can see, I am now able to open his to leave him staggered if I land an R2, which I just did. Unfortunately, it came with a price. I did get hit, but I get that fatal strike, which does 709 damage, which is a good amount of damage considering this is right at the start of the game and you are not quite powerful just yet. Another perfect guard. As I explained, they are quite easy to learn. Unfortunately, his grab attack can be mistaken, as I just did, for his normal punching attack. So I got myself in quite the pickle here. I had to keep my distance, rethink my strategy, and try to be a bit more careful. So I take the chance to land a few more R1s, keeping my distance, avoiding the aftershock of his fury attack. Try to go in for another R1 and dodge the attacks in between if I can. I managed to dodge both here now. I land an R1, I dodge again. I'm going to try to block perfect guard, which I did. And then I land a couple of R1s. I was able to dodge his fury attack. Another couple of dodges. And another one. Land a couple R1s. Trying to recharge my pulse cell. Always try to recharge your pulse cell safely. Don't take risks. Don't go for the R1 spamming to get more pulse charge, because then if he hits you while you're spamming, you will most likely either die or get yourself stunned, and then you will end up losing the fight. So as you can see, although I am in quite a significant risk of getting killed, I am playing carefully, playing safely, mostly avoiding getting hit more than I am avoiding doing more than I am trying to do damage, because I am so exposed right now. And I'm just trying to land those R1s in between if I can, keeping my distance from those nasty hits that are hard to dodge. I get hit, which put me at even more risk of dying. I do manage to get that perfect guard, but as you can see, I'm not panicking. I think it's important that for those who are not experienced in such games, don't panic. Try to keep cool. If you panic, you're just going to make mistakes. You're more likely to make significant mistakes that will cost you the fight. And as you can see, I'm quite close to kill him, but I'm also quite at risk of dying. So I'm playing safe more than anything, keeping my distance from the aftershock, making sure I survive, try to dodge those hits, land those R1s when I can. And again, keep in mind that at this stage you are not expected to do massive amounts of damage, so I would instead focus on, instead of going for massive amounts of damage, try to prioritize having a fast weapon and a weapon that goes to the weakness of the enemy you are fighting. So if you are fighting puppets, I'll give you a clue. Puppets are generally weaker to electricity, so if you get an electricity weapon just like the one I'm using, you'll have a much easier time. Now, the handle of the weapon I'm using is not from the electric coil, it's from the baton that you get from the policeman just before this boss fight. And then we finish the fight, and that's it. I'll see you guys in the next boss guide video. Like and subscribe if you haven't just yet, and thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Lies of P boss guides. Cheerio!